What's good everyone, and welcome back to Chefkoch, your go-to channel for exploring the meaning, history and culture behind rap music one story at a time. Today I got something very special for you. We're going to match pictures of Young Thug together with similarly looking classical paintings. Now it might seem weird at first, but art has always tried to capture the self, not just the face, but the shifting identity beneath it. And there actually is a lot of material which pays homage to the cultural capital of Thug by juxtaposing him with some of history's most revered works of art. And this originally started as a school project by the photography student Haja Benjida. She created most juxtapositions I'm going to present in this video, so a huge shout out to her, and please check out her Instagram project Young Thug's Paintings, as this video ID comes straight from her account. Leave a like and a sub if you enjoy content like this. Also don't forget to check out my series Describing Rap Albums Through Fine Art for more art lover content, and now sit back and enjoy the video. Starting off, I want to show you Thugger standing with his arms crossed, and on the right we have Mary and an Angel in Adoration of the Child by Bernardino Zaganelli from 1490, which shows Mary with her arms crossed, and this juxtaposition works especially well in my opinion because both characters have the same pose. Moving on, here's a picture of Young Thug sitting on a PJ looking down, and right next to it is Stanchik by Jan Matejko from 1862. Its primary component is the contrast between the solemn gesture and the lively ball going on in the background, and now with Young Thug's picture on the side, the contrast works even better in my opinion. And as the next picture we have this one right here, which shows Thugger sitting on a balustrade, looking to our left and holding a cup. And for the painting juxtaposition we have Man and Boy in Algiers by Anders Zorn from 1887, which is an Orientalism painting depicting a man and a boy on a sunlit roof terrace overlooking the sea. What I like most about this match is that both men look in the same direction and the color palettes are quite similar. Honestly, both pics work perfectly together. Now let me show you a photo of Thug with a very cute dog, and on the right we have the painting Study of a Boy with a Pet Dog by Wilhelm Marstrand from 1960, which depicts a boy and his dog in a tender, emotional scene, and again the matchup is spot on here. It almost looks like Thugger intentionally recreated Marstrand's painting. Next to that I want to show you this picture of Young Thug riding a horse, and now let's reveal its classical equivalent, the equestrian portrait of Prince Charles of Prussia by Friedrich Anton Kilp from 1872. Both men again seem to have the same posture, and I don't know what it is, but pictures of Young Thug with animals always have an equivalent in the fine art world. This is also visible with this picture of Thugger right here, which is juxtaposed with The Snake Charmer by Charles Wildat from 1883, another Orientalism painting. Thugger's picture basically is a more contemporary approach to the original Snake Charmer. Once again, both pictures are very similar to each other, and the snake always played a big role in Young Thug's artistic world, which is visible on records like Super Slimy for example, so it's great to see that it also has an equivalent in the classical art world. Next on the list we have this picture of Thugger, and for the painting we have Absalom by Santiago Arcos Megalde from 1887, which is a side portrait of a man by the name of Absalom wearing a fez in Tangier. And I got to say, this might be the most perfect matchup yet. Not only are both portraits from the side, but both men also have the same mimic and head shape. And as another portrait we have Thugger drinking out of his cup, and on the right we have Woman Drinking Wine by Gerhard Borch from 1656. Again, both subjects match up perfectly, and it's crazy how we actually have access to pictures of Young Thug for every occasion possible. This man posed with a snake, on a horse, on an airplane, and even in a wheelchair. To further prove this point, we have this photo of Young Thug looking at his phone and smiling, and now we have the more medieval and analog version of it with The Love Letter by Ferdinand Georg Waldmüller from 1849, which shows a girl reading a letter and smiling as well. With both pictures together, it almost looks like Thugger and the girl are reading the same thing, so once again this is a perfect matchup in my opinion. Moving on, we also have this picture on which Young Thug seems rather sleepy. And now let's reveal the painting equivalent. It is Vision of St. Helena by Paolo Veronese, which depicts the mother of Emperor Constantine having a heavenly dream of finding the true cross, meaning the actual cross on which Jesus was crucified. And who knows, maybe Thugger was dreaming about that as well in his photo. A similar pose of Thugger is also visible on this picture, which is mirrored perfectly by Sigismunda in the Heart of Giscardo by Moses Horton. They're really hitting the same pose again. And next to that I want to show you another super ordinate team, mirrors. First we have this photo of Thugger looking in a mirror, and its juxtaposition La Parisienne Japonaise by Alfred Stevens from 1870, which depicts a young woman in a blue kimono standing in front of the mirror. Now these two already work pretty great together, but wait until you see this picture of Thug matched with In the Mirror by Jacques-Émile Blanche from around 1904. Now that's a perfect matchup in my opinion. It almost looks like Thugger intentionally recreated the painting. In addition, we have this pic of Young Thug standing in a bathrobe in front of a mirror, and as its classical equivalent, let me show you Her Music Lesson by Frédéric Soulacroix. Especially the background and the color palettes are very similar to each other, but of course Thugger's pose is way smoother. Moving on, we also have this photo of Young Thug holding up his dress, and for the painting, we have The Dance by Maria Oke-Doing from 1921. It's crazy how both characters hold their dress in the same way, so once again this feels like a perfect juxtaposition. And as the next picture we have Thugger folding his hands, and this time we have another religious equivalent in the fine art world with Madonna of Ears, and Mary mirrors Thugger's pose perfectly on here. Another great pose is visible on this close-up of Thugger, and now for its classical equivalent, Méditation by Gustave Brisgand from 1926. Again, a great matchup in my opinion. Now for the next picture we have Thugger dressed up in a red shirt, beige pants and black boots, and its fine art equivalent has to be Lord Spencer Hamilton by Francis Wheatley from 1778. The outfits are almost the same on here, only the hat is missing in Thugger's picture. In addition, we have this legendary picture of Young Thug adjusting a model's outfit at Vifal's runway show in 2016, and we actually have a painting with a similar energy, Desdemona Retiring to Her Bed by Théodore Chassériau from 1849. Now Desdemona isn't at a runway show but in a bedroom, but both pictures still are pretty similar to each other, mostly due to the dresses being fixed on both photos. And for the next picture we have Young Thug on stage holding his microphone like a soldier holds a spear, which is exactly where the classical juxtaposition has to be the Palace Guard Grenada by Eduard Friedrich Wilhelm Richter from 1885, another painting from the Orientalism movement. And honestly this has to be a perfect matchup once again. But moving on, I want to show you this screenshot of a music video by Thugger and its surrealist equivalent, Blossom by Erik Thor Sandberg from 2018, which is a multi-phase portrait that plays with visual perception and identity. And it is fair to say that both images explore fragmented identity and perception with their multi-phase style, so again it's a great matchup in my opinion. Other than that, let's take a look at the dress Young Thug wore for the cover of his 2016 mixtape Jeffrey. Now this dress already is a work of art designed by Alessandro Trincone, but there actually is a very similar painting titled The Angel of Peace by Walter Crane from 1900, depicting a fallen angel in a dress. Now what instantly struck me, both figures are enveloped in soft, flowing blue garments, and both subjects have their arms extended and their chest forward, as if caught between earth and ascension. And Young Thug's hat matches almost perfectly with the angel's white wings. Moving on, I also want to show you another one of Thug's cover art. This time it is from Beautiful Thugger Girls, and this artwork is juxtaposed with The Guitar Player by Johannes Vermeer from 1672. Both pieces of art show a person sitting in their room playing the guitar. That's why the juxtaposition works great in my opinion. And last but definitely not least, let's take a look at this selfie of Young Thug right here wearing his YSL chain and a diamond earring. And for the painting juxtaposition, we have another Vermeer painting, a girl with a pearl earring from 1665, which depicts a European girl wearing a turban and what appears to be a very large pearl as an earring. Again, this has to be a great matchup. Both subjects are wearing a shiny earring and they are looking at the viewer from the same angle. It's actually crazy that on this pic, Thugger resembles one of the most influential paintings of all time. And with that, we covered all the pictures I wanted to talk about today, and as a conclusion, these juxtapositions remain weirdly perfect. Young Thug just seems to make sense next to all these luscious and extravagant oil paintings. It's almost like he's a modern day muse. Therefore it proves that Thugger really is museum worthy, and I think that today's compilation was a great combination of both artistic worlds. I hope you had as much fun as I did making this video, so thank you for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can hit 2000 subscribers before the end of the year. Cheers!